Most welcome back to Each One Teach One. Now, it's said that everybody wants to go to heaven, but nobody really wants to die. Everybody wants to go to heaven, but nobody really wants to die. Now, when I first heard of that, I started seeing and viewing my life in a totally different way. And it actually opened the eyes of my mind. And I started practicing viewing my own life, my own personal growth, everything, all my aspiration and all my goals based on that statement that everybody wants to die, everybody wants to actually reach heaven, to get to heaven, but nobody really wants to die. So I thought to myself deeply that, Regina, if your goals and aspirations are actually your heaven, or God's great destiny for you is actually your heaven, your aspirations, your goals, your success is your heaven really, then you have got no choice but to actually so badly want to die. Because the only way for you to reach there, to reach to your aspirations, to make your dreams and your goals come true, to reach God's great destiny for you, Regina, you have got no choice but to badly want to die. Now, for some people, it will be hard for them to understand what I really mean by heaven and by dying. There is a connection between heaven, reaching heaven and dying, because unless there is a miracle, a big one in this case, reaching heaven or actually going back to your maker, the only well-known way to reach there is actually by dying physically. So the connection between my goals, my aspirations, and my dreams and God's great destiny for me, kings and queens, with this death, it only means that for I to say that I want to reach heaven, I've got to die to some things. My heaven, remember, I've given you an example of my heaven to be God's great destiny for me, my success, my aspiration, my goals. And by dying, I mean the sacrifice that you actually got to make. I, as Regina, you, kings and queens, the sacrifices that you make in order for you to reach to that level that you really have always desired to reach, in terms of your friendships, in terms of your career, in terms of your goals and aspirations, kings and queens. So whenever you think of your heaven being your goals and your success, your aspirations, and all your dreams, kings and queens, for you to make them come true, you have got no choice but to want to die at this very moment. And by dying means sacrificing, giving up all that is actually hindering you from reaching where you want to reach in life. Giving it all up for the sake of your heaven being your success and all the aspirations that you have in your life. Now, the problem with you and I at times, being human beings, we don't really want to stretch. We don't want to be squeezed anywhere. We want to stay in our comfort zone and not do anything at all, but expect to reach our own heaven, whatever heaven that you have set for yourself. Now, according to my own life experiences, kings and queens, that's not going to happen anytime soon. And still, there are people to date who really want to be in their heaven, who are actually still on their heaven or actually in their heaven, but illegally. What do I mean? These are people that actually acquire or gain success or prosperity in life without having really worked for it or sacrificed a thing for it, kings and queens. Now, these are the kind of group of people that you find, even when they have prospered, kings and queens, they don't take that prosperity all that seriously. They actually spend, for example, if it's in terms of wealth, you'll find them misusing their wealth and their prosperity, living an extravagant life because they don't really know and understand the sacrifice that maybe has been made by someone else who actually passed on that wealth or actually prosperity to them, kings and queens. Now, so I realized that there is a benefit. In the long run, there is the benefit of actually sacrificing so as to reach to my heaven, kings and queens. Because if I have really worked hard for something, if I have really what would I say? If I had really given up all that I have right now in order to reach where I want to reach, or actually to make my dreams and my aspirations come true, then it only means that when I reach there, that level that I have always desired and dreamt of, I will not be out there misusing that opportunity and taking it all, that prosperity, all for granted, kings and queens, because I know the pain that I went through to get where I am, or to get where I want to be, kings and queens. So if you are out there and you are actually feeling like giving up and quitting on whatever it is, the kind of sacrifices that you are making in life so as to reach your goals and to make your dreams and aspirations come true, kings and queens, I'm only here today, this morning, to encourage you to keep on pressing on and not to give up, because in the long run, once you reach your heaven, you realize the importance of that sacrifice that you are actually making, kings and queens. It's not in vain. And God being at the center of all your sacrifice, kings and queens, I can tell you that it's not in vain, kings and queens. And you're going to enjoy your heaven fully knowing and being very well able to be responsible enough to take care of that which God has granted unto you once you reach your heaven, kings and queens. Because you appreciate the fact that you have really worked and worked hard and sacrificed enough to reach where you are, kings and queens. So that is one of the most important, that is actually, I would say, the benefit of sweating for what you really want to achieve in life. Working hard and sacrificing a lot so as to reach your heaven. So if you're out there and you're wondering how to reach your heaven, your heaven being, as I mentioned earlier, kings and queens, your heaven being your success, your aspirations, God's great destiny for you, kings and queens, living a life full of purpose, kings and queens, then you have got no choice but to want to die. Die to things that are actually hindering you from reaching your heaven. And that's the only way for you and I to actually make our dreams and aspirations come true. Now I'm hoping that you're going to have a lovely weekend. I believe that tomorrow will be Good Friday, and it's kind of a short holiday, small or short holiday for you and I, for all the believers out there, believers of Christ out there. And I'm hoping that you're going to have a lovely time. Enjoy your holidays, kings and queens, and hope to see you next week, having fully enjoyed your holiday and God having been at the center of it all, even as you enjoy. Remember, for you to reach your heaven, kings and queens, you have got no choice but to die to self. Sacrifice all that you have to sacrifice right now for you to enjoy and to actually reach your heaven and enjoy being up there, all the way up there, kings and queens. Now, my name is Regina, the blessed, the favored, and the unstoppable, and I'm hoping that you're going to have a lovely time wherever you are or you'll be watching me from. Remember that God loves us. He will never ever leave us. He will never forsake you or I. And once you have that in your mind and you believe it in your heart, strongly believe it in your heart, please keep running after your destiny, kings and queens. Ciao.